PBKC is your entertainment destination for poker, table games, OTV, Paddock live events, and exceptional eats. The Paddock Restaurant is perfect for meetings, corporate functions, parties, fundraising, and more. Call 561-683-2222 extension 199 and book your next event today. Feast in Football is back in the Paddock. Get ready for touchdowns and tasty bites every football Sunday during the regular season. Enjoy a $25 all-you-can-eat buffet plus one draft beer, or get it free when you place a $25 or more live bet on the Hard Rock Bet app at PBKC. Featuring 140 HD TVs, 3 giant screens, and a full bar. Bring your crew, place your bets, and pile your plate high. This is how Sundays were meant to be. It's Wednesday morning. It's 10 a.m. You know what it's time for. PBKC Picks, broadcasted live. PBKC at Palm Beach Kennel Club here in West Palm Beach, Florida. My name is Mike Jamison. Right here, Earnest Christian.
Hello.
Right here, Noah Carbone.
Yeah, I'm here. I made it. I tried to dodge, but I'm here. I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing.
This is the first time I've seen him. He came out of some kind of
You haven't seen
bunker?
me on this show in 20, you haven't seen me on a show with an Eagle after an Eagle loss in a year.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Like a double whammy, too, because of fantasy football, you and I.
Oh, God.
Oh, you beat him at fantasy football?
Yeah, it's been
I don't know if this is fake news or not, but I'm looking at the score.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
brutal.
beat the Genius Champion by 7 points.
Yeah,
God, that's
it's
so
a tough
I
week.
beat him
Impressive, it
and
is.
you beat him. Like, my God, that's
So,
not
yeah,
good.
so you owe for the panel here.
If Pat wasn't on the show today, I was calling out sick.
Yeah, I could see that.
that's
it.
I didn't expect to see you. I think you should take every Wednesday off after an Eagles loss.
Okay.
So
I agree with that.
we should hope that they don't lose a lot of games. But, welcome to the show. Hope everybody's having a great time here. Pat is on the line also. How you doing today, Pat?
Hi, Pat. Wait, hold on.
Oh, I hear him.
I hear him. He's
a little bit.
Is he in a cave?
I think I hear us.
Anyway.
Hold on. We'll get up in a second.
But, yeah, Pat will be on in a second.
Maybe Pat's calling out sick today.
yeah,
Maybe.
But Feast in Football is what we got to talk about, because that is the hottest ticket in town every Sunday during football season. That goes all the way till January 4th, because Feast in Football is where you can come in and get that $25 all-you-can-eat buffet, or it's free if you come in. Have your Hard Rock Bets sportsbook app. That's our marketing partner.
Yeah.
You show us that you bet $25 or more that day of at PBKC with the Hard Rock Bet app, and you're going to get that buffet for free. So what essentially it means is every Sunday until January 4th, you can come in and get a free buffet.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm
who else
hungry
is
again
doing
now.
that?
I'm
You know?
starving now.
Nobody.
No.
And I've seen. I was actually out of town. I was actually in Vegas, and I saw some of the sports betting marketing for different companies, like the Hard Rock Bet app and the marketing and the stuff promos that were given.
Right.
Just crush everything, and then you throw a $25 buffet on top of that with a bet. It's just absolutely amazing.
No, you can't beat it, and we're going to show you the games. Like every week, we're going to run through games that you're not going to see at other sports bars, but you're going to see them here, because every single table is going to have a tabletop TV, so you're not going to miss 1 minute of the 1 p.m. game action. It's Feast in Football every Sunday.
And we love you. That's it. So
We do.
Aw,
Of course we
nice.
do.
Yeah.
Let's look at our CBS Pick'em contest for last week.
How am I doing this week?
It's
didn't
not been
see.
good. It's not been good for us. One of our
Like us collectively, or
one of our guys, Sully, he actually did pretty well, because Sully is one of those guys that picks all the others.
Sully's so underrated.
yeah, like
you know.
he picks the Patriots.
Yeah,
like
he picks the
others.
teams nobody else does. But
This is god awful.
it is. Congrats to Rob Lowery, who had some decent wins in what I can say one of the weirdest weeks I've seen since doing this show.
Where am I? What a disaster of a week of football. You get these once in a while. You know those weeks where your fantasy team wins, your football team wins, you win in the picks, and you win your bets. Yeah, that's not me this week.
Well, it's to the point with me where there's some weeks I'm just like, why do I even put my picks in? Because at least then I have the excuse of why I'm doing so poorly.
Right.
But I make my picks every week, and I don't win a lot
Is
of
there
games.
a page 2? Like what?
I don't know.
How many entries we have currently
am
now
I?
on this?
There's like almost 60 people,
Yeah.
something like that, and like out of that amount of people, like,
Some still in 1/3.
you don't see me on there. I can tell you that right now.
I came in 9th, I think, this week.
Yeah,
not
but
terrible.
Rob Lowry had a decent amount of wins. Congrats to him. I'm going to contact you after the show, Rob, because you're going to win a Feast and Football buffet.
By the way, Sully picked the Niners also, too.
Yeah, Sully picked
unbelievable.
everything that wasn't, a
he doesn't-
favorite.
he
That's how
doesn't-
Sully
has
does
a
it.
cheat code.
He doesn't make sense sometimes.
Sully-
You know what? He
It happens.
is, so well, I will say this. And he's not like me who speaks about his genius,
Yeah.
but he does. If you remember last year he's consistent. He
Sully
really
Maybe
is,
we should
yeah.
maybe we should follow him more
Yeah.
often, I guess.
Maybe
I
you
don't
should.
know.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe you should take my spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Give him the microphone. But congratulations to Rob and everybody who did well last week, and one of the weirdest weeks I've seen since doing this show. Now let's talk about everything going on from last week. It was
boy.
essentially a week of upsets.
It really was, man.
All
I
over
was
the
upset,
place.
yeah.
Oh, I know you're very
Yep.
upset.
And my parlays got destroyed because not just the NFL, but in college too.
Yeah.
Penn State. I hate you, Penn State, for the record.
Anybody hitting sports bets last week is a genius champion, because I can't imagine the Patriots were defeated by the Bills 23-20. That was a huge upset. How do we feel about that game?
Me? Well, yeah. I'm Joshy. Like, he's usually able to seal those things, and so you combine that after the Eagles go down, and then this game, and there was opportunities or plays left on the field. But you get these games. You're 4-0. You're rolling along, and this is that game. Like, it's a divisional game. So is it dramatic that they lost this one? No, it's not over the top. They'll regroup. They're still the better team. It's like frisky would be what Earnest would call him. That Patriots a little bit frisky, and that quarterback's starting to show that he might be the guy. So he's starting to turn a little head. Signature win. You could probably call it a signature win to beat them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were there any tears in the Carbone Mansion that night?
So I was out of town, so I didn't see
You didn't check into
the Josh Allen fan club. No, no. We have rules. You don't pile on after the loss. You don't be like, oh, tough one. You don't.
But it's a wellness check. It's not a pile on.
Yeah, no.
Know what I'm saying?
So the Bills will be fine. The Bills and the Eagles are still the class of the NFL.
Well, first off, with New England, they're that team that was still trying to figure out who they are, like week to week. And I think this is a win that's like, oh, this is a team to be taken seriously. Now I see why Vegas had an 8.5 win total before the year started. But with Buffalo, though, I got to be honest with you.
All right, be
Hot
honest.
take here.
Don't lie.
Oh, here comes the
I'm
hot
not
take.
convinced the Bills are the best team in the AFC anymore. I'm not
Okay.
convinced.
Right.
Because if I took right now, I think right now there's a case we made. Now granted, we're working on a 5-game sample here.
Yeah.
But I have a case here for the Colts right now being the best team in the AFC. Because
is that it? That you
because
call-
outside
That's the take.
because outside of Josh Allen being the best quarterback in football right now,
Yeah.
what does Buffalo do better than Indy right now? Figure it out. Defense. I'll take Indy's defense right now over Buffalo's.
Okay.
I'll take the running game over Buffalo's right
Jonathan
will.
Taylor.
now. So I mean, right now through a 5-game sample, I don't think, even if you want to say Buffalo's the best team in the conference because of Josh Allen, the gap is not big at all. In fact, it's very thin. And I think what Indy does right now is, it says like week 1, and we're still seeing it play out now through 5 weeks in the season. It's sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the difference is battle tested. So the Bills
Right.
have been doing this for years. They're battle tested. The big game come in when they need to win, they win. All these things. Yeah, they're going to have a slip up. But Indy's not battle tested yet. They're not there yet. There's a lot of questions. Daniel Jones, he doesn't have a track record of being battle tested. So that's the difference. And we keep forgetting. Like you get these wins and a team looks good on paper, but literally, if you had to match up the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills on a neutral field today, who are you taking, Ernest?
Honestly, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. And here's the thing with Buffalo,
I'm taking a team that's done
okay,
it
so you take
before
better
this.
quarterback, obviously. But, there's no thing to also do with Buffalo. Who have they played this year? Their 4 wins are against who? Crappy Jets, crappy Dolphins, crappy Saints.
Okay.
Who else they beat? Another bad team. So, and most of those wins were actually close wins.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, they're still a Super Bowl contender, of course. Josh Allen, best quarterback in the league right now. But I just think Buffalo, as a totality,
Yeah. One of the people that's not surprised by this is Pat Rooney. Pat, are you there?
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
I think we do.
Yeah,
Well,
hold on
sort of.
1 second. We're getting you through the phone, but I know that Pat has said many times that it's any given Sunday when it comes to all these games. So when I saw the list of upsets this week, I knew Pat wasn't shocked by this. How are you feeling, Pat?
Yeah, I made the statement that except for the Bills and Eagles and Titans and Saints, all these other teams are the same. Well, now you could probably put all of them in the same because the two top teams lost and the two bad teams won. So the NFL has always wanted parity. That's what they like. The NFC East hasn't been won by the same team in like 15 years or something ridiculous. They want this. They want any team to be able to beat any other team on any week. That's why I say to bet the NFL, you've got to be absolutely insane because there's no logical reason why the New England Patriots would go to Buffalo and win that game. And there's no logical reason why Tennessee would go into Arizona and win that game, or the Saints would beat the Giants. So, or even Denver beating the Eagles. So it just is maddening to me to try to. That's why I've given up. I've waved the white flag. That's why my total will be 17 for the rest of the year, because to bet these games, to go on record betting these games is insane. Any team can win. Any team can lose. That's what the NFL wants. That's fine. So what that means is for 80% of the NFL fans, your team's in it till they're not. Till somebody says you're not in the playoffs, your team has a chance. So, I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's just the reality of it. And, I really wasn't surprised that New England won. New England is not that bad of a team. I don't think they're potentially a playoff team this year, but Drake Mays are the real deal. I think he's just going to get better. And that defense under Mike Vrabel is going to get better. They're going to beat some teams this year, but they're going to lose like they did to the Steelers, fumbling it 5 times and doing crazy stuff that young teams do. So they're going to have a bunch of losses that are going to be mind-numbing for New England fans as well. But, I wasn't surprised by it at all, Mike. You're right.
Yep. Yeah, a friendly reminder that we are partners with Hard Rock Bet, and
we sure are.
Maybe we need we need Pat's don't bets from last year. That's really
a good idea, actually.
We really did well with that. So maybe we get back on that train of the these are my losers. So you can get back on
Pat.
I
swear to God, when I was watching all the results come in on Sunday, I thought of you.
Yeah,
I thought of you. I swear to God, I'm like Pat said this last week Wednesday about these results.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not only, obviously, we just talked about the Bills losing to the Patriots. The Broncos handed the Eagles their first loss of the season, 21-17. Titans snapped their 10-game losing streak with a dramatic comeback over the Cardinals. Ravens suffered a significant loss to the Texans, 44-10. The Commanders rallied from a 10-0 deficit to beat the Chargers, 27-10. The 49ers beat the JV team of the JV team 49ers beat the Rams on Thursday night. 26-23 without like a lot of starters, and Mac Jones as the starter. And then also we got the Jaguars defeating the Chiefs on Monday night.
Fun game, huh?
What a crazy week in the NFL. We said before, the one person that I knew wasn't going to be surprised was Pat. The NFL saw record-tying 6 double-digit comebacks in week number 5. You remember a week like this, Pat?
Not to this extent, where just what you're talking about, like Kansas City up 14, Arizona's up 21-3 or whatever. These crazy comebacks with teams that aren't, now Jacksonville's probably a decent team, but when Kansas City's up 14-0, you figure they're going to run away with that game at that point. So from that standpoint, it does surprise me a little bit. Not the upsets per se, but the upsets coming back from, the Chargers up 10 against what we thought was going to be kind of a depleted Washington team. Those things in 10 years ago or 20 years ago just didn't happen. You didn't have double-digit comebacks. I always said one of my favorite statistics under Bill Cowher was if Cowher was up 11 points or more on a team, his record was something like 69-1-1. Like the game was over. Like even if it was in the first quarter and you were up 13-0, it was over. Now it's not. These teams have shown either through just an unbelievable, uncanny, lucky ability like Tennessee to just get every kind of goofy break that you can get and win a game they have no business winning, or the teams are just so evenly split now that one little momentum shifter, and then all of a sudden you go down from 21-3 to all of a sudden you're going to lose the game. I don't know if the NFL quite had this in mind, but that part did surprise me. You know, to have this many teams that you thought the games were essentially over or, you know, were pretty much in the bag, to have other teams that didn't seem to have as much talent come back and beat those teams, that part is surprising to me.
Yeah, I think at some point we almost need a study to be made for why this is happening, and there's got to be something. I bet if somebody ran some numbers and threw it through some logistics to figure out how this is happening. Are the defenses playing too much prevent or not playing their regular game, or is it just that the teams that are behind? What I've seen, this is what I believe. I'm seeing that the teams that are behind are starting to realize that it does you no good to not try to come back and win the game. So they start getting more aggressive and they start blitzing more and winging the ball down the field, and good things are happening. And maybe it's it's ahead of the curve of how often it's supposed to happen. But I think like, if you want to use a term, playing with, on house money, I think that's what they're doing, and they're just opening it up. And maybe, just maybe, teams should come out of the gate, and instead of playing tight early or tight late or whatever it is, and just play their style of football and throw that thing all over. I think the passing game is that it almost dictates the way the passing game is designed now, the way the passing game is protected, to be conducive to these comebacks.
I also don't want, even though it's been a wacky year, Week 5, of course, representative of that, let's not also overreact to what we see every week, because, I mean, everybody's going to say, oh, the Eagles are in trouble now. Yeah. Now, granted, they have –
not everybody.
They have slept walk most of the year. Would you agree in that game in the second half, up 17-3, what kind of sleepwalking?
Yeah.
Saquon had 6 carries in the game. I mean, it was a weird game.
It's one of those games. I'm good with it.
But
because the Giants are going to get shellacked this week.
I agree. I agree with that. But like I said, let's also not overreact to those results too also. Sometimes you have a weird week. Like, is Buffalo still really good? Yes. Do I think a little bit overrated? Yes, also too. But don't overreact to anything here. I think let the puzzle continue to put together, because there's still a lot of things happening here. Remember the Chargers. Oh, my God. Chargers 3-0. Best team in the AFC possibly. That's 2 weeks now. What happened? So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, we got news yesterday that the Bengals were looking for a quarterback, and they were looking for an old quarterback because they just go ahead and trade for Joe Flacco. Is this going to do anything for the Bengals, Pat?
I don't think so. Like I said, I know Flacco had that good comeback against Green Bay, but there were other games he didn't look good at all. And again, with this offensive line, which is much worse than the Browns' offensive line, and a defense which is non-existent, I just don't. I think Flacco's going to get killed out there. The move to me would have been if they really think that they can salvage this season, and the current quarterback is not the answer, why they didn't try to go get Kirk Cousins. I know it would have been a higher amount of draft capital they would have had to spend on him, but if you really think that this team is capable of doing something, and again, who are we to say in this league where, to me, it looks like anybody could win this thing at this point? I mean, we've talked about Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore. They all have flaws. They all have issues they're dealing with. So, yeah, Cincinnati does not have a good offensive line. They don't have a good defense, but they have receivers. They got a running back. They got tight ends. They have special players that, again, if things click the right way, maybe they can just outscore a bunch of teams. So if you're going to go this route, I just think, try and get Kirk Cousins or somebody else. Joe Flacco's he's a statue. He's not going to be able to maneuver enough, in my opinion, with that offensive line to do enough damage to do anything. I mean, so they have Brett Ripien and a couple guys on their practice squad, so they don't really have anybody else that they can go to at this juncture. So I don't view it as anything more than maybe a one game. Maybe he plays good this week, and then that's going to be it.
Yeah, you have to believe that they shopped around a bit, looked around a little bit, and I can't imagine if somebody put in a legitimate offer for Cousins that they would reject it at this stage, because they already made their decision. It was just going to sit on the back. So, and maybe you don't want to invest. They got cap space issues already. They're paying the receivers $1 bazillion, and the guy the quarterback who can't ever stay on the field, they're paying him a whole bunch too. It does put him in a little bit of a pickle, but. Why do it at all if you're not going to do it right? That's always my thing. I think it just sets you back.
That's the thing, too, also. Their season is still salvageable. We forget. They've been so disastrous last 3 weeks that we forget they have 2 wins on the board already. And in the AFC Walker situation where right now it's pretty wide open, why don't you go after Russell Wilson? Someone who can actually play serviceable, similar to Joe Burrow, who's also mobile, make plays.
Russ.
You get 4 wins on the board, you're 6 and whatever by early December. Joe Burrow's back in the lineup by December before Christmas, and you're in the wild card race, and you can make that last run like you did last year. To me, this is a move that it's a white flag move. And on top of that, he's going to get killed. He's going to get killed. He'll make it to Halloween.
Yeah, I worry about his health. That's what I worry about. Now we're going to go over the injury report. Quarterbacks, we had Lamar Jackson miss Week 5. He's got an outside shot to play this week.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, he hurt himself in Week 5. They're monitoring his status. Brock Purdy sat out Week 5. He's hopeful to return this week. In the running back realm, we got Saquon Barkley. He was estimated non-participated. He should be in on Tuesday, on Thursday night, but obviously it's been a short week for the Philadelphia Eagles. Hampton, who was my rookie running back for the Chargers,
that's a huge injury.
That was a big one. He's on the injured reserve, so he's going to miss at least 4 games.
Yep.
Chuba Hubbard, he might be able to come back for week number 6. Braylon Allen from the Jets, he's out for the season. CeeDee Lamb, he missed Week 5, but he could return this week. Waddle for the Dolphins is unlikely to play this week, which is a big one. And Xavier Worthy, he aggravated his ankle, and he's questionable for this week. And then Brock Bowers, he's been the big fluke of the fantasy season so far. He's week to week with a knee injury. Those are the injuries that are going on right now. And I thought it'd be fun to actually look at the odds right now on Hard Rock Bet. Let's go look at the MVP odds. Right now, we got Josh Allen plus 125, Mahomes plus 425, Mayfield plus 850, Jordan Love plus 1100, and Matthew Stafford plus 1200. That is for the MVP. Any of those shock you, Pat?
I mean, Josh Allen doesn't shock me, but Mahomes, I don't think has been unbelievable this year. I think that's on past reputation. The guy that's not even, and I like Baker Mayfield. I've said that from the beginning. I think he's just a gamer, and
Noah's favorite.
Guys like that don't get a lot of recognition some of the times, but I think he's finally starting to get that. But the guy that's not even on that list, and Earnest will like this, is Daniel Jones. I think he's leading in every category that you can be leading in at the quarter poll, and doesn't even get any mention for the MVP. Now, do I think he's going to keep playing at the level he's playing at? Probably not. But, I mean, to not even mention him, I think is somewhat of a head scratcher. But those other guys, for the most part, have either been there before, done that, or like Baker Mayfield is finally getting some recognition. But the guy that I think should be on there is Daniel Jones.
Yeah, notably, Daniel Jones right now is at plus 2,500. Jalen Hurts is at plus 2,250. The guy that I think right now should be have much lower odds is Dak at plus 2,000.
I agree.
How are we feeling about that, Noah?
I got no comment on any of that. Dak,
I think
Dak, but you gotta remember, like, we're putting, like, okay, so MVP and what it means, like, they're throwing the ball because they can't keep a team from scoring, and you always have to weigh that, like, if you put somebody else back there, could they actually make the same thing happen? I don't know. It's hard to judge, but they're doing it out of necessity in Dallas, where he's chucking that thing all over the place. He's doing he's down his number one receiver. He's doing pretty good with that. I don't know. I'm just a hater. I'm not betting it.
Yeah. I mean, if the record's a lot better, he'd be in the conversation without question. To me, the MVP right now is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Because he's had to win games, late for his team to be 4-1 right now. And right now, the Buccaneers are scary right now.
Yeah, if we look at the Super Bowl odds right now, Buffalo Bills plus 475, Detroit Lions plus 700, Eagles plus 750, Packers plus 800, and the Kansas City Chiefs plus 900. Do you think that's a big disrespect to the Eagles, Pat?
Yeah, I do. I still think, everyone's – listen, the Eagles were not going to go undefeated, just like the Bills weren't. This was – I think I mentioned this last week. If there was going to be kind of an upset – be an interdivisional or, out-of-conference game with a team like Denver coming in. They don't have any real history with the Eagles, nothing like that, and they're a good team. They have a good defense. I knew they could give the Eagles some difficulty. Now, when the Eagles were up 17-3, I thought the game was over. Yep. But the regular season now with football is almost becoming like the regular season with hockey. You just have to get through it. Just get through it, get in the playoffs. And if you're a team like the Eagles that have been there and done that, They know what they got to
Absolutely.
do. They know what they got to do to turn it on and play the right way. I'm not worried. If I'm the Eagles, I'm not worried at all. And I'm really not worried if I'm the Bills. All these other teams, though, I do think that Kansas City's got some issues. They got to play Detroit this week. They lose that game and go 2-4. That's tough to come out of that. And so you're going to get a surprise team. I still think the Chargers are going to surprise to some extent. I don't know what's going on with Baltimore. They got to get Lamar Jackson back. That's clear.
Plus 1,600, by the way, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, so if I'm an Eagles fan, I'm not. I know you're worried about everything because that's how Philadelphia fans are.
No.
I'm going through it with the Phillies right now, but I'm telling you, the Eagles are going to be fine. Barring any kind of an injury to Jalen or somebody else, they're going to be fine.
You're glazing Noah now, Pat. Be careful.
Smiling. This is great. Pat, I love you, Pat.
But here's the thing. The thing is, though, with this is that the reason why they're a little lower on the pecking order here is because it's about environment. The NFC is much tougher than the AFC. So the battles Philly has to go through to get there is much tougher than, say, Buffalo's. Yeah. Like I said on the show earlier, is there a case of the Colts be better than the Bills right now for 5 weeks? Yes. But is the trek easier than Philadelphia's? Also, yes.
Yeah, I think it's time to go on the Hard Rock Bet app. That is our marketing partner. With plus 750 for the Eagles right now, I think it's definitely worth a bet, and they got a great offer right now.
It is weird, though, that I'm staring at this thing right now, and the Ravens, who are 1-4 now, without Lamar Jackson and all the injuries, are a better odd to win the Super Bowl than both the Colts and the Niners right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It doesn't make any sense. That has to do with moving betting lines. That's what that has to do with. Yeah.
But if you bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets if you win that bet. You can't beat that. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com/Hard Rock Bet. And now let's talk about week number 6. We're going to start off with the Thursday night game, and that is Philadelphia at the New York Giants. Philly is favored by 7.
Yeah, this one should be an easy walk in the park. I know it's at the Giants, but this will be a get-right game for the Eagles. They should win this one by 30 points. I think this is going to let out a lot of frustration. And the Giants had their win a couple weeks ago, and then they looked terrible against the Saints. I just think they'll revert back to probably the 2-3 win team that they're going to be this year, and I like the Eagles big in this game.
Yeah, this is if you look at our schedule, I mean, we've had, Denver. We should have won that game, but we're at Tampa Bay. We have to pull that one off, and we play Kansas City, and we have to win that one.
Cowboys.
The Cowboy game to open, and they're throwing the ball all over the place, and they're playing pretty decent football. That was with their full staff Cowboys. So it hasn't been an easy road, and you expect that as being the world champs, that you're going to play the best in the league in each division. Now we finally have a team that, this is one of those, we don't need a get-right game, but this will go a long way to maybe finding balance on offense, running the ball and throwing the ball instead of becoming one-dimensional. Maybe put a complete game together. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Put a full game together, win the game like you're supposed to. Don't take a quarter or a half off like we've been doing for the past 5 weeks. Have a complete game, do what you're supposed to do here, and handle business. It is a division opponent. Saquon goes back home, goes to that field. I got Saquon going for 160 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and I thought we'd get that game for Philadelphia last week against Denver. That's why I picked Philly to win in comfortably anyway. But, and I'm going to go Eagles here, of course, to cover, number 1. And number 2, the Giants are already down Neighbors. Yeah. Now they're down Slayton, 2 on top of that now.
Yeah, I don't know.
So on top of that,
who's the next guy?
I have no idea.
That's perfect.
I have no idea.
Next
they bring back McCaffrey, and McCaffrey maybe
might
come
not
back. I don't know.
Any wide receivers at all.
Like I said, get-right game for the Eagles. They need it. The Giants. Look, I think Dart's been impressive so far through 2 games. But you're asking for a lot against this team, bro.
I got one question. So I haven't followed the Giants closely because they're non-compete.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned.
Right.
How is your defensive line? Because we are banged up on the O-line, and we've been showing some vulnerability there, which has always been a staple in Philly.
They played better the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Again, the Saints game, they lost that game. How do you turn the ball over on 5 straight possessions is beyond me.
So are they getting pressure or no?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't think it matters.
That's a little concern.
Yeah, I think the Eagles come in, win big on Thursday night. It's a statement game. Now we move on to the Sunday morning game. I love having the early games, 9:30 a.m. You have Denver at the Jets. That is not in this country, and the Denver is favored by 7.5.
Here you go, boys, right here. Everybody's on Denver. The Jets stink. Here you go with the NFL. Watch out. This game could be a lot closer than people think. The Denver, I guarantee, is going into this game thinking they can show up and beat the Jets. Everyone's, they're crying that the Jets This might. I would never pick this game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not picking it. I will take Denver. But this game is one of those games the NFL loves where everybody thinks that Denver's going to win and nobody thinks the Jets is going to win. And this is a prime spot for the Jets to rise up and decide that they want to play a game. So I would watch out for this game. I'm going to take Denver, but watch out for it.
Yeah, Denver basically treated last week's game as a Super Bowl against the Eagles. They actually, if you read this, they took a detour around Philadelphia to drive past the Rocky statue and troll the Eagles, which was wild. So, okay, congratulations, you're 3-2 now. Now you're going to go play the Jets. You're over, like the whole thing sets up for an absolute upset. I'm going with the Jets here. The quarterback's been playing amazing. If you look at his stats, he's not turning the ball over. They just got to find some consistency on defense, maybe with the run game. But overall, this is the kind of game. They came back. They're not playing great football. Denver isn't across the board. If you look at their games, they're not playing great football. This is the one. This is an upset. Mark it down. This will be with the points. This is my champ stamp of the week. The Jets.
Yeah, you both are on my mind here because this game smells. Like the Jets outside the Dallas game last week have been relatively very competitive. They should have at least 2 wins on the board right now. And you said Fields has been playing decent actually. And like I said, Denver's feeling themselves a little bit. But remember, this is also a neutral site game too. Also on
Overseas,
top of that. So like, should Denver win this game? Yes, but I will definitely take the points on the Jets here without question. Pat's correct on that.
Yeah, I think this might be the first time we've all picked an upset. I'm taking the Jets also.
To win outright?
I'm taking the Jets to win outright.
I got the points. You got them outright. I got them the points. But
I'm taking them to win here. I think they're a much better team than their record shows. Now we're going to move on to the early games of Sunday. We got the Rams at Baltimore. Rams favored by 7.5.
Yeah, I have to believe Harbaugh is going to come up with something better than what they had last week if Lamar is not playing again. I'm not a big Cooper Rush fan. I made that clear. But Baltimore, that was embarrassing, and that team's got too much pride. The Rams are a very good team, don't get me wrong, and they've already proved me wrong. They went into Tennessee early in the year, and I thought that would be a game for a West Coast team to go in and not really play well. So they can go into an opposing AFC team and play well. They clearly have the talent edge here, but I've got to believe Baltimore is going to play better and at least make this a game. So I would take Baltimore in the points here.
Yeah, Baltimore, who knows? If you look at their numbers of what they're giving up on defense, Baltimore has always been known. Run the ball, play defense. For years and years, and that formula is just not shaping up. They've given up more points to this point in the season than they did all time. I think in 2000 and whenever they that record 2001 or whatever year it was with Ray Lewis. And they're giving up more points than that. They're signing safeties off the practice squads and off the trash heap, and they're making deals and trading players or whatever, trying to get this thing right. I don't know if they can. The Rams are playing, in my opinion, consistent football. They play good football. I think Baltimore is in trouble here. I'm going with the Rams.
And they gave away 2 games, too. They should have beaten the Eagles and should have beaten Niners last week. So they could be easily 5-0 right now. Just 2 plays away from that. Having said that, though, and then you have the speculation now Lamar Jackson could be playing this game, too, on top of that. That changed everything here. The Rams should win this game regardless because everything you mentioned, about the defense. Look, their IR is a Pro Bowl roster.
Right.
Okay, that's how bad things are in Baltimore.
Yeah,
but you got to think pride here. You get embarrassed by Houston of all teams last week, the worst offense in the league, coming into the game. So you got to figure some Harbaugh pride here. Rams probably win this game still, no Lamar. But I got to take Baltimore on the points here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams after losing to the backups of the 49ers last Thursday night. With a lot of time on their hands, I'm taking the Rams to win big here. Now we move on to Dallas at Carolina. Dallas favored by 3.
This was a tough one. I think Carolina's got a little fight in them. Dallas, big blowout win against the Jets. Usually when you do that, the next week you don't do nearly anything close offensively that you did the week before. I would hedge a little bit towards Carolina. I would take Dallas, but I think Carolina is going to give them a game in this one.
How many points do we have on that one?
3.5. Dallas 3.5.
Yeah, that's not enough. I like Dallas to cover and beat Carolina.
This is the friskiest games of the week because, again, Pat mentioned it, a Dallas team comes down, they're not going to do the same thing last week, in New York. Carolina also won a comeback against Miami. But they do get CeeDee Lamb back, I think, this week. I believe I did mention that. So if he gets back in the lineup, that should help Dallas going forward. Don't bet this game, guys. Do not bet this game because this is typically a game that the Cowboys would lose historically. But I'll take the Cowboys.
I'm taking the Cowboys. Now moving on to Arizona at Indy. Indy is favored by 6.5.
Here you go. Here's another one. Everyone's going to be like, oh, Indy's going to blow them out. They've been blowing everybody out. They've only punted 9 times. Arizona has to be crushed after that. This is a game where Arizona comes back to keep their poor fans on the hook just a little longer and shocks everybody. I will not pick that. There's no way I'm taking Arizona. But don't be surprised if in this one that Arizona gives these guys a game. Normally you would feel like after losing the way they did to Tennessee, it was terrible at home, that they would just be crushed. But that ain't how the NFL works. They come back this week and they give Indianapolis a heck of a game. I take Indianapolis, but this is one I would stay away from.
Yeah, you talk about Arizona and how they lost. That guy running into the end zone and dropping the football, I would equate that to me going home at the end of the night and leaving the main vault door open and expecting to have a job the next day after all the money's gone. Pat, I would assume I'd be canned on that one. Like, literally, you have one job. It's to secure the ball running into the end zone and win that game, and you do it in that style. I mean, that turns some heads and makes you question things. You said Kyler Murray's banged up. Is he going to play?
That's the question.
Yeah, that's a question.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, yes, they have a chance. Without him, they have zero chance, I believe. If he plays, I'll take Arizona. If not, Indy.
The problem with trusting Arizona, they're a stupid team. They're just dumb. They're a dumb team. Like that game last week was the epitome of who they are. Okay, remember they were 2-0. Remember once upon a time. Yeah. If Kyler plays, maybe they cover a backdoor cover, but even so, I think 7 was it 6.5.
6.5.
It's low enough for Indy to even if you don't get the 44-10 thing you got against Vegas last week, they could at least get 10 points. So give me Indy here.
Are you okay with Coach punching the player like the way he smacked him on the? Did you see that?
He did get fined for that.
Yeah, he got fined for it.
Really?
$25,000.
The Cardinals
and that
coach?
was the only thing. Yeah, he gave him the business and laid his hands on him.
He apologized to him after.
I'm
but
sorry.
Yeah.
We should have that rule here. I lay my hands on you. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna do like that. It's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as I get the money, you can lay your hands on me. But okay.
All over me.
Indianapolis, I'm taking the win here. Seattle at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's favored by 1.
Hey.
Yeah, this is actually should be a pretty good game. Seattle's played well on the road. They came into Pittsburgh and beat them. Jacksonville, you would figure a little bit of a letdown after beating the Super Bowl contending Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't know. This is a tough one. If it's typical Jacksonville, they lose this game. But I also said if it was typical Jacksonville, they would lose against Kansas City, and they didn't, even being down 14-0. So maybe this is a different Jacksonville team. Trevor Lawrence stumbling, bumbling, scoring. I'm going to take Jacksonville, but I think this is going to be a really good game.
Yeah, what an exciting breakout game for Jacksonville to have that at home, and they get to be at home again, which is a big thing. And I could hear the Duval chants in it. You can hear it on the TV, and that's cool for Jacksonville because they're typically not that environment where everybody gets rowdy. Trevor Lawrence made 2 throws in that game on that last drive, I believe, that I haven't seen a quarterback make in succession that were absolutely drop one over the top on the sideline and then an absolute laser to the opposite sideline across the field, just absolute lasers. And then he makes a little bit of it seemed like a rookie mistake where when the clock's winding down and he's scrambling and instead of throwing the ball away, he just takes a sack and the clock still runs. Like that was bizarre to me. But I do think he's starting to show who he can be in a consistent offense. I'm going with Jacksonville. I think they keep this thing rolling here.
This might be the game of the week, actually, if you think about it. Both these teams mirror each other, different conferences, of course. And both these teams are, okay, they're good. The record shows they're good. But are they really contenders in their conferences? We don't know yet. This is a game to go a long way of saying that. This is a complete stay away, though, honestly, because as you mentioned, this could be a letdown for Jacksonville going forward, too. Also, Seattle needs this win because they lost a heartbreaker to Tampa last week. So I'll take the Jags just because they're at home, but this can go either. This is a 50-50 game, honestly. Right. Stay away from it.
So the show is PBKC Picks.
Right.
Yeah.
So we
the
would like
picks,
you to start.
Are we going to pick something?
I have a Jags.
Oh, okay.
I have a Jags because they're home. I said that.
Okay. Stay away. No, we don't stay away. We pick.
Well, I'm saying with betting it. Don't bet it.
No, bet it.
I'm going to take Duval. I'll take Jacksonville.
That Duval guy might be coach of the year right now.
I'm telling you, I was really hoping the best for him, and I think he's really starting to pan out. Chargers at Miami. Chargers go in favor by 4.5.
Yeah, I've got to go with the Chargers here. They've had their couple stumbles. Miami had a real chance in that game against Carolina. inferior opponent really and couldn't get it done. I think they're on the brink of really throwing in the towel this season. You know, McDaniel's probably in a lot of trouble. I don't know what's going to happen with Tua. This team, you know, has really regressed in a big way over the last couple of years. This is not one of those games where Miami's going to rise up, and I think the Chargers beat them pretty handily.
Yeah, the demise of the Miami Dolphins has started. When you have a head coach, and I've said this, who isn't a presence, who isn't a true leader, and I don't believe McDaniel is to where he could command a presence, there is no scenario where he goes in and says anything to that group, the way he speaks and the way he carries himself, to be able to either rally the troops or discipline them or get them straight or right the ship. I do not know how they do that with his demeanor, and I know it sounds strange, but it seems like leadership 101, and I do not know. There's no scenario where he gets in front of that group and does it. Now, players meeting, maybe something like that will come up, but they don't even have leadership in that spot. If you look around that roster, they do not have that guy. You put two up there in front of the guys too. He's not saying the right thing either. They're going to have to revamp this whole thing. This is just going to spiral out of control as the season goes on, and I have the Chargers big here.
How does McDaniels have a job done Wednesday at 10:45? That to me is beyond me. And on top of that, you just mentioned the Waddle injury. He's probably going to miss this game, too, on top of that.
Yeah.
So there's your best receiver now available on the Pine. Now, the kid Hampton's out now, too, those 4 weeks. That's a big injury. But you got to figure the Chargers, after starting 3-0, you lose two heartbreakers. You know, you got to get together here at some point, and I think they will this week in Miami. Give me the Chargers a win and cover.
Yeah, I expect a big win for the Chargers here in Miami. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh favored by 5.
Yeah, I if this game was in Cleveland, I'd have a little bit more trepidation with this pick, but I think Pittsburgh's going to win. Mike Tomlin, 14-4 after the bye, and hasn't lost after the bye, I think, since 2017. Last Pittsburgh home loss after a bye, 2003. So you got to go back a long way. So I'm assuming they're going to be ready and prepped and all that kind of rested and all that stuff. Cleveland, Gabriel's not bad. I think if you give that kid a few more games, he might be able to show something here, so that they could get rid of Flacco and not have to really worry about it too much. But I just think it's asking a lot to go into Pittsburgh with a second start, deal with that defense. Cleveland's got a good defense themselves, so I don't think this is going to be a super high-scoring game. But I do look for Pittsburgh to win and probably cover.
Wow, kudos to Pat. He was up early getting his stats together. I don't have I don't have that level of statistics today on home losses after bye and all that stuff.
Still from Vegas. He's still in Vegas. That's why.
Yeah. So Pittsburgh's playing football. I mean, Cleveland has questions in a lot of spots. Pittsburgh's got, Aaron Rodgers is playing decent and he's staying upright, and they're doing a pretty good job of that. I think their defense is going to start coming around and settle in. So this should be one of those games where you could put this in a category of Philly going into New York, that this Cleveland at Pittsburgh, that you would like to see Pittsburgh just handle it for 4 quarters and win this one. I got Pittsburgh.
Are we living in a world right now where the AFC North might be the worst division of football right now? Because right now we're there. The Bengals stink. The Browns stink.
Right.
The Ravens are in kerfuffle mode right now.
Right.
So the Steelers have opportunity right here, right now, off a bye,
Okay.
to run away with this whole thing now with the division. Okay. So you start here. So give me the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers at home. I'm hoping Jalen Warren comes back, too. I need him on my fantasy team. Now we're moving on to New England at New Orleans. New England goes in favorite only by 3.5.
Yeah, this is if New Orleans didn't win last week, I would be jumping all over them. But I think they've got to revert back to the 2-win team that we think they're going to be. New England, it's tough because they just came off a very emotional win against Buffalo. So this is a tough game to really try to handicap. And the 3.5 gives me a little bit of pause. I think this is going to be a close game. I'm not going to say it's going to be super high scoring either. So that half a point gives me a little bit of agita. But I'm going to take New England here, but it's not a strong pick because both these teams have issues with momentum and things coming into this game. The venue gives me a little bit more if I was going to take New Orleans, but I'm going to take New England here.
Yeah, New England is playing consistently inconsistent football. Like they're up and down, and they're here and there, and you get one or the other. New Orleans is playing typically just steady bad football. Other than last week, they were able to pull one off, but that's against the bad
Bad team.
Really, really bad team. I'm going to take New England here only because I think overall they have a little more quality there. They're a little more consistent. But yeah, this could be a little bit of a coin toss with New Orleans at home trying to get another one.
This is one of those games where, like Pat said, that you can, if the Saints win, we'd be surprised because of the letdown factors. And the Saints, not for nothing, outside the Seattle loss in week 2, I think it was, they've been in games. They played Buffalo late in the fourth quarter. They played all these teams late. So they've been better than I think they were advertised coming to the year. So the Pats letdown could be in play. I'll take the Pats here, but this is another stay away from me.
Yeah, I'm taking the Pats on the road. Now we move on to the worst game of the week. We don't even have to talk about
year,
it.
probably.
You can just
up
pick
the
it.
century.
But Tennessee at Vegas. Vegas favored by 4.5.
I mean, Vegas, I just don't think they're this bad. I really don't. I don't know what's going on. Pete Carroll is a decent coach, and Geno's a good, decent quarterback. Their defense is okay. I don't know what's going on with Vegas. They shouldn't be this bad. I agree. I actually would jump all over Vegas here because they have to be better than Tennessee. Tennessee got their win, miracle win last week. There's no way they're going to go into Vegas and replicate that. I've got to believe Vegas beats them pretty handily this week. So I would jump all over Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas loses this one. They got to reconsider what they're doing in that town, in regards to coaching and personnel. Like, yeah, they have to win this thing. The roster's better across the board. They're just not putting all the pieces and aligning them in order to pull off the wins. Yeah, I got Vegas at home. They should be able to win this one. Ernest is going to say Tennessee's frisky or something.
Oh, no. I'm a Pat here. I think this is set up for a blowout here.
Yeah.
This is a, if the Raiders need a get-right game moment here, this is the get-right moment here. Tennessee got lucky of all luck last week. So the Raiders, look, they have Powers. You have all these guys, Max Crosby, all these good players, Genty. They have good players here. They should not be this bad. I don't know why. And I think they'll get it right this week. Give me Vegas. This is actually my lock of the week.
Oh.
Yeah. With the exception of Bowers, who's dealing with some knee issues, the Raiders have stayed somewhat healthy this season, so I'm
There's
shocked
no excuse
also.
here. There's no excuse to be this bad.
They should win big at home. Now moving on to Cincinnati at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 14.
Ooh,
Oh,
boy,
wow.
That's a big number. Joe Flacco coming in, I don't know. Who's more important, Joe Burrow to the Bengals or Lamar Jackson to the Ravens?
Yes.
I think it's probably Lamar, but I'm going to take Green Bay here, but that is a huge number. Cincinnati, I just don't believe is going to. They're going to rise up. Here's a pick for you guys. Pittsburgh's going to play at Cincinnati next Thursday. Jump all over the Bengals in that one.
Wow.
So
You do that thing again, Pat.
I know. So this game, though, I still don't think the Bengals win, but maybe they give them a little bit of a game. But I'm taking Green Bay, and I even take the points. But boy, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, I'm not giving 14. I'm not ever. Like in this league, in the parity, like we spoke of early this show, it's hard to hard to bet against any team. They're all professionals, and I get it. But the margins are a lot smaller in any single game, any roster, in any situation. I don't care who's fielded out there. If you're in the NFL, you could get within 14. I'm taking Cincinnati in a point.
Here's the thing, though. It's a lot of points, right? We agree?
I said that.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough points, honestly.
Oh.
Packers off a bye, number one.
How many will you give me then?
Packers off a bye, number one.
Okay. Yeah.
Number two, they need a get-right game after the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I think the Packers use it
How many points is it then?
It should be at least 16, 17 points.
Can I have 17?
No.
Okay.
We make a wager? No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
That being said, I think Packers win this game. I think they win it by over 20, honestly.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Again, this is a game that they need to get right off a bye.
Yeah.
Who's the quarterback for Bengals next week?
It doesn't matter. That's
Thank
too many
you.
points.
Packers.
I could probably quarterback it next week and
Hey,
keep it within 14.
I'll
I think
be
I
out
can.
of here.
I can do that.
Second lock of the week there.
There's a chance
Packers
they might
cover.
call you next week. No,
Second lock of
I
the
don't
week.
know.
Second lock of the week here.
I'll put in a good word for you, but I'm taking Green Bay big at home. Now San Francisco at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay favored by 3.
Boy. San Francisco's actually playing better without Brock Purdy.
Yes.
So, Mac Jones has maybe got himself another job here. So, got to have a letdown here at some point. Again, Tampa's not quite in that upper echelon. They're getting close, but I don't put them up there with the Eagles yet. I'm going to take San Fran in this one. They're just one of those teams that they find ways to win, man. I don't know how they're doing it because a lot of guys are hurt, but that's a credit to Shanahan. He just knows how to scheme things, at least in the regular season. I'm going San Fran here.
Yeah, I think San Fran could come in here. How many points?
It's 3.
Yeah, I'm going to take San Fran and the points. And Baker, I mean, he is who I said he was, and I know we have some fans on the show. He's literally arguing with the fans and cursing them.
I love it. I need more of that.
Come at me, Baker. Next time I'm there, you come at me, bro. Come at me.
He may.
Yeah,
he may do that.
I'm here for it. I'm calling you out right now.
Yeah.
And yet the Bucks kind of need one of those teams at 4-1 that kind of still need they haven't shown a full game yet.
Yeah.
At 4-1, and I think Niners let down here, emotional win against the Rams last week. Granted, it was on Thursday night, but I think Tampa steps up here and they play a complete game here. This Tampa team is really good, man, and they're going to get better as they get healthier as the season progresses. Here, give me the Bucks here to win comfortably, actually.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are going to win this. I mean, that rookie receiver, hands down, rookie of the year is phenomenal.
We locked him up.
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay at home. Detroit and Kansas City is the Sunday night game. Kansas City is favored by 2.
Wow, this should be really a good game. Detroit's gone into Kansas City just a couple of years ago and beat them, so they're not afraid of going in there and winning. This is really, I think, Kansas City's schedule gets easier, I believe, after this game. But boy, they can't afford to go 2-4 or whatever they would be with a loss here. I still got to take Detroit. I just think they're playing at a high level right now. They know how to win in Kansas City. Dan Campbell's got these guys refocused after that horrendous first game loss. I'm going to take Detroit here, but this game wouldn't surprise me if Kansas City won either.
Yeah, so one thing's going to happen. So 2 things can happen here. Detroit wins, and Kansas City is essentially reconsidering what they're doing overall, and they're in a bad spot. Kansas City wins, they're back in. Detroit's still in the hunt. Kansas City at home, I don't know how many losses you're going to see from Kansas City in a row or how quickly the demise will come. I know the Super Bowl started this and it's continued on into this season. Detroit, they have to win this game. Like you want to be the team and you want to be the contender. This is the kind of game you got to go in and you got to beat Kansas City. Philly went in earlier to beat Kansas City on the field and handle business. You have to win this game. You have to be able to win the big game. You have to be able to you lose this and you're reconsidering like, okay, can we hang with these guys or not? Kansas City, they know they can hang with anybody. I'm going to go with Kansas City here at home.
Even if they go 2-4, they're not out of it. Because right now, the Chargers are now slipping a little bit now, banged up. The Broncos are still trying to figure things out.
Yep.
The AFC as a whole, the wild card situation is not defined yet.
Yeah.
So 2-4, they're still in it.
Yeah.
If we're saying the Ravens still have a chance to get into it, so can the Chiefs. I just can't see. I guess I can't fathom looking at Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid being 2-4. That's weird to me. Stay away from this game again. I'll take the Chiefs in this one actually because I just think pride once again will overtake here. And we're at home too on top of that.
I think it was really nice that Noah picked Kansas City so he can bond with his future son-in-law.
Yeah.
Let's go, Blake.
He's such a good guy.
I think it was amazing, but I'm taking Detroit on the road. Now we're moving to the 2 Monday night games. Buffalo at Atlanta. Buffalo favored by 4.5.
If Buffalo didn't lose last week, I would put them in a prime spot to lose this week. But I think because they lost to New England at home, they get refocused here against a very up-and-down Atlanta team that can look really good one week and horrendous the next. So I think Buffalo takes care of business and goes into Atlanta and wins.
Yeah, this is Josh Allen's going to have a huge bounce-back game here. I hate 2 games on Monday.
I hate it too.
It's not my favorite, but I'm taking Buffalo Bay.
Yeah, and I off a bye too, also a little bit dangerous. But I'll be honest with you, this is a must-win for Buffalo in terms of perception.
Whoa!
In terms of perception, because again, for me anyway, for me, look, who have they beaten so far in the four wins?
Must win,
okay?
He says.
Okay, they're gonna win the East. We know that already. But again, the perception of the Bills is that they let down every so often. So they need to win this game just to kind of change that narrative there. So the Bills win this game because look. I can see them losing this game, especially too. And now what?
Must win.
Must win for me.
You're 4-1.
I don't care. Must win.
Well,
hey, the Pats are breathing down their necks now.
Well, now that I know how important this win is for Buffalo, I'm going to take Buffalo to win this
There you
one,
go.
too.
Because they have to win.
It's a must-win.
Hey, look, Pats win in New Orleans and Buffalo loses. Now that they're both tied in, well, technically New England in first place down the division because of that.
There's literally only one must-win, and that's the Super Bowl.
Well,
stop it.
I doubt there's a must-win in this final game. Chicago at Washington. Washington favored by 4.5.
Well, maybe Washington's back after that game coming back from 10-0 against the Chargers at L.A. Jalen Daniels looked really good. So maybe they're going to be back at one of those upper echelon teams that they were last year. Chicago's just, again, they're like Atlanta. They can look okay one week and then look terrible the next. So I'm going to take Washington because I think maybe they're going to be one of those teams that now that the injuries and stuff are starting to break their way, maybe they start gaining some momentum here and get themselves into the playoff picture. So I'm going to take Washington.
Yeah, this is important. Okay, so I won't call it a must-win like Earnest does, but you have two quarterbacks that are trying to establish themselves in this league, and they're going head-to-head here. And I think it's the first time they've played head-to-head.
No.
Oh, no?
I can tell in a second.
No. Okay. Anyway, they're playing head-to-head, and this is where you have to show that, okay, I'm the next guy out of that class to come up and step up. I think it's Washington at home on this one.
This is a return to the scene of the crime last year. Remember the Hail Mary?
Oh, I do remember
Okay.
They have
Bears are 4-2.
It was bad.
They win that game. They're 5-2, and that thing could be looking different.
might have won the
That's
Super
the
Bowl.
game that when they lost that game, they lost
And
every
that-
game after that.
And that
until
was
the
a
week 18.
must-win, of course.
That was a must.
Well, look at the season
They
played out.
might have won
obviously.
the Super Bowl
Yeah.
if it wasn't for that. So.
This is, look, I'm invested in Caleb Williams now. I'm really locked in.
good
I'm
luck
not,
with that.
I'm not a Bears fan. Hold on. You praised him the last couple of weeks. Stop it. You praised him, saying he looked pretty decent the last couple of weeks.
Decent is not praised.
Okay,
Go ahead.
whatever. Anyway, okay, Jalen Hurts guy. No, I think the Bears are one of those teams who are still trying to figure out. They're like Atlanta, we one good 1 week, but I'm seeing things with Caleb Williams now. I was like, okay, the game is slowing down finally, and I think this is a game where the Bears can actually win. But I think after last week the Commanders look like they're back now. I don't know. Is McLaurin healthy again or what?
He's
that's
I believe he is.
I mean, it won without last week anyway against the Chargers, but I'll take Washington, man. But this is another stay away, man, because I think the Bears could walk in there and win this game too.
Yeah, I'm taking Washington at home, and those were all of our picks for the week. We'll go over those later in quick picks. Let's move on to fantasy football now. The start 'em, sit 'em. I'm going to steal Ernest. I actually came up with this one way before, but my start 'em this week, Hassan Haskins. I think anybody running in that Chargers offense is going to run well. So that is a waiver wire pickup that I think most people in fantasy were trying to get now that the rookie is out for 4 games, and my sit's going to be Chase Brown of the Bengals. Who do we like, Noah?
I like Herbert, Justin Herbert in Miami. He's just going to
like that.
Like it's a comeback game. They're going to light it up. Miami has no direction. They're not going to be able to move the ball. Like it's going to be something special down there. So I'm going to take him. And then, I say sit Baker, just because.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Because if I own the team, I'm sitting Baker.
Well,
Sit him.
they're playing San Fran too,
bench
also,
Baker.
so I don't blame you for that. What was the game? Haskins? The kids?
Hassan Haskins.
That's mine also too. My sit-em this week is going to be Aaron Rodgers, actually, because the Browns defense.
Oh, God.
Hey, Pat, you got any start 'em, sit 'ems?
I like Lad McConkey here. Just like you said, I think I think Herbert's going to have a big game, but I like we haven't heard much from him this year, so I'm going to take my boy Lad McConkey. Sit him. I would sit if Jalen Warren's going to play. I'd sit him because I just don't think the Steelers are going to run the ball real well against Cleveland, so they're going to have to pass to win that game. So I would sit Jalen.
Okay, now we're going to talk about some college football.
All right.
The Miami Hurricanes took down the Florida State Seminoles 28-22. Hurricanes are now the number 2 team in the AP poll behind Ohio State. How we feel about the Canes throughout the season, Pat?
Yeah, I think they shouldn't be number 2. They should be number 1. I think the Canes are the best team in college football right now. Ohio State, Oregon, they're good teams, but to me they haven't played anybody yet. Miami's played a bunch of good teams and beaten them on the road too. So I love the quarterback in Miami. I love the receivers, running backs. I just think Miami's got a complete team, and I don't think they're losing. Now, you get in the playoff and anything can happen, but I think the rest of the regular season, they're going to win out, and they're going to win the ACC. They're just a juggernaut. I think they're a really, really good team. And, I just don't foresee them losing the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing solid and consistent, and it's good football, and they have a good system in place, and the coach is on point. So yeah, I find I'm gonna find it hard. They're gonna make the playoffs at least, and I find it hard in any single game for. Yeah, I don't know how you pick against them. I don't know what roster or who you could look at and say, okay, this team. Now there are some teams, the Ohio States and some of these other teams with all the speed or whatever that they might run into at a certain point. But to Texas everybody had ranked super high at the beginning of the season. They're non-existent. They lost to the Florida Gators. Congratulations there, and Napier saves his job probably again, which is wild.
Right?
But yeah, Miami's the class right now. You have to beat them.
I've been saying all year long that it felt wide open every week. It felt wide open at college football. You pick 9, 10 teams win a natty, were you surprised? That's changed this week. There's separation now. There's 2 teams that separate themselves this week. To me, it's Ohio State and Miami. And Miami, Pat, to your credit, I agree with you. They should be number 1. I get why they're not number 1 because the champs are number 1. That's why. But the Canes, or what they have, they are across the board great. Their roster is phenomenal, and where they're great at, which is very scary for teams like, in the SEC or teams like Ohio State. They are great in the trenches.
Yeah.
Like their O-line, that's how you sustain winning football and college football.
Yep. Any football.
So right, but especially in college football where it matters. So I think their schedule. Look, they got a bye week this week. Mm-hmm. Their toughest game is off a bye against Louisville, and then they should go and beat. They have a cakewalk to the ACC title at this point now. A cakewalk.
Well, is that what you want, or do you want to be battle tested a little bit where you're playing
I
some
think
teams or whatever?
I'm with you. I think iron sharpens iron. I'm with you on that.
Right. Yeah.
And you may get a team that might give them a little bit of a scare here and there, but I think overall this Canes team is really good, man. I'm a Florida State fan, so I'm heartbroken about the game on Saturday, but I call a spade. This Miami team is for real.
Right. They are. Now let's talk real quick about Hard Rock Bet and the offer that we got going on right now. If you make a deposit of at least $10 and place a cash wager of $5 or more, your bet wins. You're going to receive $150 in bonus bets, and that's credited as 6 separate $25 bonus bets. If you got your phone out right now, just scan that QR code, get in on the betting right now, and get that amazing offer for new sign-ups and new Florida residents. You cannot beat that. And if you want more information, go to pbkennelclub.com/hardrockbet, and that's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Got to be 21 and plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Let's talk real fast about the MLB playoffs going on right now.
It's been a lot of fun.
Let me run down the action. The Mariners beat the Tigers last night in Game 3, and they are a 2-1 lead, including a home run from Cal Rowley. That guy's just an absolute
and another
monster. The Yanks came back from a 6-1 deficit.
That was a great game last night.
To defeat the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 3, forcing a Game 4. Aaron Judge with a big game-tying 3-run home run. The Dodgers hold a 2-0 lead over the Phillies, and the NLDS Game 3 is tonight at 9 o'clock, and the Milwaukee Brewers lead the Chicago Cubs 2-0 in the NLDS. What are we surprised about or anything in the playoffs, Pat?
I'm a little surprised that Seattle is handling Detroit so far. Skubal, they beat him. I thought Detroit was really poised here, even though they didn't have home field advantage, I don't believe, to beat Seattle. So Seattle's a little bit of a surprise to me. What I'm not surprised at are my Philadelphia Phillies being down 2-0. I will say this, though. They put up a little bit of a fight in the 9th inning the other night. I'm not saying they're going to win the series or anything like that, but if they can win Game 3 with Aaron Nola, who I'm been on for the whole year,
rough year.
If they can win that game, I wouldn't be surprised if they push it to the 5th game. The Phillies have too much talent to continually crater in October like they've been doing. So maybe that little burst that they had in the 9th inning might give them a little bit of hope. I'm not going to take them, don't get me wrong, but if I was the Dodgers, they should try to win this thing tonight and end it, because you don't want to give a team like the Phillies that do have some talent, they just can't put it together, any kind of momentum. So I'll say that. The other ones, the Yankees got pummeled in Toronto, and we're on their way to getting pummeled in this game. So I'd be a little nervous if I'm Toronto right now that the Yankees might, especially Aaron Judge, have woken up. And the other one, Milwaukee's just a better team than Chicago. Chicago might be a year or two away. So I'm not shocked at that one. I think Milwaukee, the Dodgers would be a real good series, and Seattle and probably Toronto would be a snoozer. But yeah, I think this is probably the Dodgers' year again.
Yeah, it feels like Pat might have been looking at my notes because I was talking about the Yankees waking up. So you go down 2-0, and you're like, okay. So now I'm sweating, and I have a lot riding on this, like $12,000. Right now it's valued at like $64. I need the Yankees and the
It
Eagles.
went up last week from $40-something.
Yeah,
remember?
so we're up to 120, and then we lost 2. Like we're battling it off.
$20.
Here's what happens though. So I come up with these things, and I put a lot of research into them, and they're going to be the champs. They're going to win this thing. They're taking the tough road. Let's go down 1-0 and face elimination. So now they haven't lost. So now they've overcome 2 elimination games already, and we're only in the second series. They're going to have to win another one and then 2 more. So they could. If they get through this, look out. Okay, Aaron Judge woke up. He's finally, he's been a huge disappointment in the playoffs for years, and he hits one, and everybody's going berserk.
He smashed that ball.
The Yankees have the talent, and momentum is everything in sports. If they get this thing rolling, look out. I'm excited for it. I have the Yankees.
It's like I said too, their trek to the World Series before the year started is easier than say what the Dodgers face or the Phillies face. So if they can, if I'm Toronto, I'm a little nervous because last night you had them dead to rights. You're up 6-3 in 4th inning and all the momentum, and then that Judge home run changed everything.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, you're
stand for the Judge.
You're best still alive. Would you say, Pat? Would you say that the must win for the Phillies tonight?
It's a must win for
There you go.
a bunch of the free agents. But I mean, like I said, the bullpen has been terrible all year. In certain spots, and they came up small again in game 1, and they don't clutch hit. They do not clutch. The Dodgers had a bunch of runs off 2 outs and one guy on base, and they get runs. That's what you have to do in the postseason. Not have Schwarber and Harper and Trey Turner strike out 13 out of 22 at bats or whatever it is. It's just so frustrating to watch them because I know they're better than this, but this is what they did last year. This is what they did 2 years ago in the playoffs. So it's not surprising. It's just super frustrating. That's why if you read a lot of stuff on the Phillies and then read comments, a lot of the comments are like, I hate this team. I hate this. And I'm the same way. I'm like, I hate them. They're just so frustrating. They should be a lot better than this, but they're not.
At least not a Met fan, though. Yeah. I think we get a Nola throwback tonight, honestly, a Nola throwback.
Yeah, now let's take a second to talk about some Feast and Football. Feast and Football is going on in the Paddock Restaurant, and that is each and every Sunday. I got the menu right now. It's updated actually every single week, which is one of the cool things about Feast and Football, because with that menu being updated, we're always adding new things. And now the menu has Italian hoagie bites, garden salad, corned beef hash, scrambled eggs, and bacon. That's a new one. We got chicken wings. We got pretzel sticks with beer cheese, penne alla vodka, sausage, peppers, and onions, olive and cheese tray, spinach and artichoke dip with tortilla chips, and assorted desserts. And you're also going to get a free beer when you do that also. So it's $25 all-you-can-eat buffet, or come in, place a bet on the Hard Rock Bet app at PBKC, and you're going to get that $25 buffet for free of charge. You can't beat that. It's every single Sunday during the regular season, and that is Feast and Football. Now,
hey,
Magic.
Who's that guy?
That was Magic.
What happened?
It sounds like him on the phone, but no, this is actually P3, who we actually have right now in the studio. We got Pat Rooney on the phone, and we're going to run through our favorite part of the show, and that is called Quick Picks, is what we're going to do right now as we speak. So get ready. We're going to run through each and every game for Quick Picks.
Make them quick.
I'll try.
We have to. We got
Let's go through the first game of the week. We got the Eagles at the Giants. Eagles favored by 7. Go ahead, Pat.
Eagles humongous in this game.
Yeah.
Go ahead, P3.
Pat.
Yeah, I got the Eagles on this one, too.
Yeah, you see, great minds think alike. Let's go Philly.
Noah's right.
Yeah, we're all taking the Eagles. Now we got Denver at the Jets.
I got I'm going to take Denver, but it won't surprise me at all if the Jets win this game.
I agree with that, too. Denver, but Jets, this is like a now or never for them.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Jets in the points.
Denver wins the game, but Jets in the points.
Okay.
Frisky Jets.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets too. Again, Denver's favored by 7.5. Now the Rams at Baltimore. Rams favored by 7.5.
I got to go Baltimore here. Baltimore has to rise up and play a better game than they did last week. I just can't believe they're as bad as they were against the Texans, so I'm taking Baltimore here.
I don't know about you, but I got the Rams on this one.
Yeah, I like the Rams. I think overall the roster is better and more consistent.
I think the Rams win, but I think Baltimore will probably make this game close.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams in this one. Dallas at Carolina. Dallas favored by 3.
Yeah, this one's a little tricky for me. I'm going to take Dallas, but it wouldn't shock me at all if Carolina at home plays well and at least keeps this game pretty close. I'll take Dallas, but it's a stay-away game for me.
Yep.
I got the Panthers on this one because Dallas, they're good when they're good and they're bad when they're bad.
Yeah.
So true.
You said it.
So
yeah.
true, Pat.
I'm going right now. They are playing good, so I'm looking for them to turn it around and start playing like Dallas should and lose. But I'm going to go with Dallas on this.
This is a complete Cowboys trap game, so take the Cowboys, but stay away from this game, honestly.
Yep, taking the Cowboys on the road. Now Arizona at Indy. Indy favored by 6.5.
Ooh, I'm so tempted to take Arizona here. I'll take Indy, but again, this is an NFL game where Arizona, if they win, would not shock me at all.
It's going to be a tight one for me, but I think it's going to be Indianapolis on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to wait till last minute to decide if Murray's playing or not. So Arizona if he is, Indy if he's not.
If he does play, they're a stupid team. Give me the Colts.
I'm taking the Colts at home. Also, Seattle at Jacksonville. Jacksonville favored by 1.
I think this is actually the game of the week.
Yep.
I think it could go either way. Seattle has won on the road on the East Coast already, so it's not like a West Coast thing. I'm going to take Jacksonville, even though this might be a little bit of a letdown game for them. But this is going to really prove if they're a real deal team if they can win this game. So I'm going to take Jacksonville.
I got Jacksonville on this one because, the Jaguars, even if they play sloppy, they'll find a way to win.
Yeah, I got Duval.
This is also my game of the week too. Also, and stay away from betting wise because I have Jaguars though, but stay away.
Everybody's
So
taking the
much- so much stay
Jaguars
away.
at home in this one. Now Chargers at the Dolphins. Chargers go in favored by 4.5.
This should be the lock of the week. I think the Chargers win humongous here, and this is probably it for Mike McDaniel. I think he gets fired after this game. I just think this is a culmination of some bad Dolphin play, and they really look bad in this one and lose at home.
Yeah, I got the Chargers in this one. I'm scratching my head on Miami.
Yeah, I think this might be the demise of the coach there in Miami. I'm going with the Chargers, and he's welcome to come to Philly as just offensive coordinator.
Wait, he wasn't bad demise last week? I don't know. But Chargers anyway. They need to get right game.
Chargers, a big win here. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh favored by 5.
Yeah, I look for a low-scoring game, probably a very boring game. I think the Steelers win, but it's going to be like a 17-10, sort of type of game. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
I agree with you, too. I got Pittsburgh on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the home team and go with Pittsburgh.
Steelers off a bye and take the under.
Yep, I'm taking our home team,
Wow, there you
Pittsburgh, to win here. New England at New Orleans. New England favored by 3.5.
Yeah, tough one. If New Orleans didn't win last week, I would pick them to win this week. New England coming off a very emotional game against Buffalo. I think New England's just a better team, so I'm going to take them, but this would be another stay-away game for me.
I got New England on this one because, last week it was a statement for them. So they're taking this seriously.
Yeah, I'm going to take New England. They're playing better.
Sneaky, frisky game here. I'll take the Pats here,
Has to
but
do it
the
every
Saints.
week.
It wouldn't shock me the Saints win this game, but give me the Pats.
I wouldn't say Frisky and New Orleans in the same sentence, but I'm going to take the Pats here. Tennessee and Las Vegas. Vegas favored by 4.5.
The more I think about it, I think Vegas wins this fairly big. I think Tennessee is just happy they finally won a game, and it'll take them 3 or 4 or 5 games to get serious again. So, and Vegas isn't this bad. I think Vegas wins this one pretty big.
I got Vegas on this one because, Vegas, they need to try to get back on track.
Yeah, I have Vegas here, big.
I got Vegas on the blowout as my lock of the week.
Yeah, they should win this one. Cincinnati at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 14.
That's a lot of points. Cincinnati, as we saw, is just not that good without Joe Burrow. I don't think Flacco is going to mean that much of a difference. I'm going to take Green Bay here, but that is a ton of points.
I got Green Bay on this one, too, because, yeah.
Yeah, Ernest would call this a stay away, but I'm going to take I'll always take – you give me 14 points, and there's very few teams I'm not going to take, and I'm taking 14 points in Cincinnati.
14 ain't enough. Packers off a bye by 20+.
Wow.
I'm worried about you, Joe. I think that the Green Bay Packers win, but I hope they really do protect Joe Flacco. Now we're moving on to San Francisco at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay favored by 3.
Yeah, this actually could be a really good game too. San Fran has been very resilient. They finding ways to win without quarterback, without Kittles, without wide receivers. So I'm going to take San Fran here just because I don't think Tampa's a very good team. Don't get me wrong, but at some point they're going to have a down game, and I think this is it.
It's pretty close, but I mean, I like San Francisco. Like they do pretty well without their stars, but I'm gonna go with Tampa because you can't count out on Baker.
That's right.
Yeah,
I know that.
I've
I like
decided
it.
officially I'm going to bet against Baker Mayfield every single game. I'm going San Fran. Every single game.
Even at 4-1, the Bucks are due a complete game. Give me the Bucks here in a relatively easy game.
Yep, give me the Bucks at home. Detroit at Kansas City. Detroit is going in underdogs by 2.
Yeah, tough game. Kansas. Everything points to Kansas City to sort of right the ship here. But Detroit's a really good team, and they've been playing good. Until they start playing bad, I'm staying with Detroit.
I'm liking Detroit on this one.
Yeah, this is my game of the week, and Blake and I are going with Kansas City on this one.
I just can't see Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes starting 2-4. So this is nonsensical here. I'll take the Chiefs here.
Yeah, I'm going to take Detroit on the road. Now we move on to the 2 Monday night games. Buffalo at Atlanta. Buffalo favored by 4.5.
Yeah, like I mentioned, if Buffalo had won last week, I'd be more apt to pick them to lose this one. But I think because they lost, they're going to be focused. I'm going to take Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo on this one because they need to turn it around.
Yeah, Josh Allen, league MVP. I'll take Buffalo.
Must win for the Bills. Perception game for the Bills.
That's
Tippity Bills.
ridiculous.
Yeah, must win for the Bills, and I'm going to take them in every must win. Again, favored by 4.5. Now Chicago at Washington. Washington favored by 4.5.
Yeah, I like Washington. They showed me something last week against the Chargers, and I think maybe they're going to get back to that form that they had last year when they sort of surprised everybody. But I'm going to take Washington at home.
Yeah, I'll take Washington on this one too. I mean, Jane Daniels, he's supposed to come back soon, I think.
I believe so.
He's back. He's back. He played last week. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm picking him.
Yeah, Washington at home, they don't get many big Monday night games at home. They're starting to come out of that now. I'm going to take Washington at home on Monday night.
Is Washington back? Question mark. Maybe they are. Washington wins this game, but
The Hogs?
give me Chicago the points though.
Yep, taking Washington at home, and that was quick picks for
made it
week
quick.
Not the
number
quickest.
6.
5-man. I mean, 5 men here. What are we gonna do?
How about that?
Okay, now we're going to sit here and talk to our friend P3. He's actually starting his own hockey podcast, and we're going to talk to him about the upcoming season. We had Game 1 last night.
He was there.
He was.
How was
Oh,
it?
yes,
How
it was.
was the energy there?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean,
sure.
it was a sellout. I mean, it was over 19,000.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Did they do like a celebration with the cup and all that
They
stuff?
raised
Oh
the
yeah,
flags.
Lord
Yeah.
Stanley was in the building. They did their little banner. It was kind of similar to like last year's banner. So I guess that was like a way to
Did you get a
saying,
souvenir? Did
back
they
to
give
back.
a little souvenir or anything?
They gave me once I walked in. They gave me like a coin or something that says
that's a
like
big deal. Right.
kind of like it's kind of like giving you a ring.
That's what I would
cool.
expect. I need a coin or something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, Eagles coin.
Yeah, something.
So the Panthers kicked off the season with a home win against, I think it was the Blackhawks.
Yes.
They
Yep,
played?
Chicago.
Okay, so what is your outlook on the season for the Panthers? Obviously, Bob is out for a little while till at least what
Or you mean Barkov?
Barkov.
Yeah.
Barkov. Well, yeah, he's with that ACL, MCL thing. Even though now I hear instead of 7-9 months, I hear 5-6 months.
Okay.
So I'm expecting hopefully he can get back on his skates by late of March at least. But it would be, I mean, he's not walking on crutches, so that's progress.
That's great. Pat, how are we feeling about last night's big win?
Yeah, I watched some of the game, and I was hoping that it would be kind of a blowout. Chicago's probably going to be one of the worst teams in the NHL, opening on their road against the Panthers. So I thought the Panthers would really try and put on a show and win like 6-1 or something. But yeah, that's how the Panthers grind a lot. They just do, and that was a grinding win. They had to get some breaks. They outshot them by a mile, but but with the injury to Barkov, maybe it's going to take a little bit getting used to. Lundell's going to have to step it up. I like Sam Miskevich. He was a kid that didn't really play much in the playoffs.
He had 2 assists.
But I think he's the guy to watch while Barkov is out to see if this kid steps up. He's not going to be Barkov, but if he can add that energy element, then I think the Panthers are going to be fine.
Yeah, now we're going to talk about your upcoming podcast. What are you going to try to cover the most? Obviously, we're going to talk about Panthers. We're talking about a lot in the NHL.
Yeah, it's not going to be mostly about the Panthers. It will be mostly about what's happening around the NHL. Like, it's going to be like, after every team goes through their first game, that's all to be like recaps and then thoughts and then what's what to expect, what predictions of what's going to happen in the stands, like who's going to win the division or who's going to make it close or short or who's going to surprise me, prove me wrong on something. Yeah.
What do you? Go ahead, Don.
I was going to ask, how often can we expect it? Like, because we're looking forward to it, so we're wondering when we could get our hockey fix in.
That's a good question. But I'm hoping, I'm trying to get started, hopefully by the end of this week.
Excellent.
So,
All right.
good. Like between tomorrow or Friday, at least, because that's when every team should get through their first game.
Right.
So I mean, there's already going to be tonight. There's already more teams playing their first game, and then and then there are some teams already playing their second game already. So
I do have a non-Panthers question though for you.
What's
we just saw a couple days ago Connor McDavid sign an extension with the
2 years.
with the Oilers, 2 years, $25 million. Yeah. Are you shocked that he committed another more years with Edmonton? Because there's a lot of rumors saying that.
I thought he was going to stay for more years, but I mean 2 years. I mean, it's kind of like showing a little bit like maybe does he still want to stay in Edmonton? I know he wants to chase the ring so bad, just like anybody other great player like him. So, but. I mean, hey, like Leon Draissait's got more money than he does now. So
he's what, 29?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Can we see him 2 years in Florida? Can we see that?
I saw that joke. I was kind of picturing.
Oh, I wasn't joking.
Would the money work though after 2 years? I mean, a lot of these guys are committed for at least. They signed for at least 3-4 years. So I mean,
hey, why not?
We'll figure it out.
I mean, hey, he's welcome to come to Florida. I would like to see that. I mean,
he might as well come down here and win something instead of lose something.
Is there any teams you wouldn't be surprised if they made it far this year?
I don't think so. I mean, I kind of like what the stands look like now, but I'm still keeping an eye on like teams like Ottawa, Montreal. Those are like they are young, but they look like they're hungry for more playoffs. That's what I like to see.
All right, so the sports card show is this weekend.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Give me a rookie. Give me a guy like last year they had I forget who what. I got his card.
That guy, yeah.
I forget who it was. Anyway, I chased this card. I got it. I put it in the safe. It's away. Who's the guy in a rookie this year, top draft pick or whatever, that I got to go to the card show on Sunday and try to find?
It's got to be what's his name who got drafted by the Islanders.
Okay. I do remember I remember that big hype around him. All right, I'm going to look him up, and I'm going to hold you to that. So you're on the hook now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Feel free.
Yep. We have P3 here, and we have Pat Rooney on the line. Thank you for stopping by, P3.
No problem.
We can't wait to hear your show. Again, what's your show going to be called?
It's called the Penalty Box Puckcast.
I like it.
I like that.
So basically, you're in the penalty box with me.
I like it. We look forward. We look forward to that, and that's going to be a new hockey podcast. It's going to be starting soon, and of course, we're going to let you know on the show. And anytime P3 stops by, you definitely jump on the show. Let's talk about NFL, and let's definitely talk about some hockey.
For sure.
Now we're going to talk about some sports betting picks for the week. My sports bet is tomorrow night's game. I'm going to take Cam Scatabo for an anytime TD. I'm going to take Jackson Dart over 176.5 yards passing. I'm going to take Wandale Robinson, 46.5 receiving yards. I just think that the Eagles are going to get out front. They're going to be throwing a lot. Eagles are going to win, and if you bet $25 on that bet, you're going to win $250. Wow. You have any sports bets this week, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the game already, but I just really like the Chargers against the Dolphins. I think it's going to be a romp, so I would take them big.
Yeah, I'm big on these future series bets, and we have an opportunity here for everybody to capitalize. So for $10, and I like to play these small bets and come up with these miraculous plays that I get involved in. So for $10, if you take the Yankees and the Phillies to win their series each, you win $256. You laugh and mock me.
I'm laughing.
You laugh away. That's my pick. Don't bet it then, Mike.
Okay.
Thank you. Mike's copying me again. Mike's copying me again, Mike. Tomorrow night's game, I'm just going to keep it simple because I've gotten burned all weekend with these bets. I'm going to keep it simple tomorrow. Give me Eagles -7 and the over at 41, and that's it for me.
P3, give us a hockey bet on the next Panthers game.
Well, they play the Flyers the next game on tomorrow night, so
taking them?
I would take on the Panthers.
Is that in Philly or her?
It's in home.
Okay.
They have 3 games at home, so but yeah.
Are you going? Are you good luck?
I'm usually good luck.
All right, we'll go. If you go, I'm betting.
I try not to miss a home game. I like to go to every game of the season.
Okay, we're betting the Panthers over the Flyers tomorrow night. And now let's talk about everything going on right here at PBKC, including those October high hands we got going on. We got high hands every 15 minutes, the big cash giveaway on November 1st, and the progressive high hand weekends with the $100,000 giveaway. You can't beat any of the deals we do here in the poker room. Everybody wants to try, but they can't be as good as PBKC. Noah mentioned the card show is something that I wish P3 was going to be here on Sunday because you don't want to miss that card show. It is hands down the best one-day show in all of South Florida.
This is big.
I get people writing to me constantly about trying to be a vendor, and vendor slots are sold out immediately with over 60 tables of some of the best vendors.
Get in.
If you're going to collect any hockey cards, this is the time to do it. With the MLB playoffs, of course, everybody's going to be collecting cards for baseball, and of course, football season's in full swing, and NBA is about to start too. So the card show is going to be absolutely packed this Sunday, the 12th, and that's 10 to 3, free admission, and also free parking. And don't forget, you can watch all the sports on all of our TVs. We're going to have all the NFL games playing, and then go over to the buffet for feast and football.
Good
too.
call.
Absolutely.
And now we got to talk about everything going on in the paddock. We had a great show last Friday night with the Reaction Band, and then 2 weeks from this Friday, we have the Rat Pack now. That's a show that I always look forward to. October 17th. Get your tickets now. They do a fantastic job. Then we got Beer for My Horses, the Toby Keith tribute coming up on the 8th, and Start Me Up Rolling Stones tribute on November 14th.
Looks like Toby Keith actually there.
It does, doesn't he?
It's easy to look like a cowboy, though.
Yeah.
Is that easy?
You put on a cowboy hat, you look like Toby Keith. It's
We
easy.
should all get cowboy hats.
Okay.
That's what we got to do here on the show.
We
But
got big heads, though. I don't think it'll work for me.
yeah, well, cowboy visors, okay? If you want more information on tickets, go to pbkennelclub.com. And what are we looking forward to this week, Pat?
We got 2 college football games that I think are going to be very intriguing, Mike. We got Ohio State at Illinois, and we've got Indiana at Oregon.
Yes.
All those teams are ranked. This is where you see if Ohio State and Oregon are quite as good as these pundits have them at. Indiana is not that bad, and Illinois is not that bad. They're very good teams. I wouldn't be surprised if either one of them won these games outright. But if both of those teams lose, then Miami is clearly the number 1 team in the country, and nobody else is really close.
Yeah, P3, what are we looking forward to this weekend?
I'm looking forward to most of these game 3s for baseball, which is it's now or never for the Cubs, now or never for the Yankees, it's now or never for the Phils, now or never for the Tigers. So these are like all wins for who's going to move on to the championship.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to on Sunday as Mike laughed in my face on the show about my comeback series. I'm looking to capitalize on that and really embarrass him next Wednesday. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I look forward to that too. Yeah. Go ahead, Ernest.
I'm just looking forward to the fact what kind of encore can Week 6 give us in the NFL? Because Week 5 was nuts.
Stay tuned.
Nuts.
What a great product.
And their games right now, I'm looking at it's like that could be you can see an encore of that based on the schedule this week. So we'll see if Week 6 could go something as crazy as Week 5. So
I look forward to Noah eating his words about those terrible bets he's going to make this week. Might as well just donate that or buy one of us lunch. But good luck on all your bets this week to everybody. And, of course, we're going to see you next Wednesday, 10 a.m. right here, PBKC Picks at Palm Beach Kennel Club. Have a great week, everybody. PBKC is your entertainment destination for poker, table games, OTB, Paddock live events, and exceptional eats. The Paddock Restaurant is perfect for meetings, corporate functions, parties, fundraising, and more. Call 561-683-2222, extension 199, and book your next event today. Feast in Football is back in the paddock. Get ready for touchdowns and tasty bites every football Sunday during the regular season. Enjoy a $25 all-you-can-eat buffet plus 1 draft beer, or get it free when you place a $25 or more live bet on the Hard Rock Bet app at PBKC. Featuring 140 HD TVs, 3 giant screens, and a full bar. Bring your crew, place your bets, and pile your plate high. This is how Sundays were meant to be.
I almost got in that thread. Like, what do you